Namaste. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. As folks make their way into our meeting, we want to invite everyone to take a moment or two to find a comfortable posture, a comfortable seat. Taking a moment to ensure that if you are joining us on Zoom, that your audio is muted. And you may choose to keep your camera on or off as you feel comfortable. Minimizing whatever distractions are within our control to minimize in whatever spaces we are in. An invitation here to close the eyes or to soften the gaze if we haven't already done so. Today's meditation will be a loving kindness meditation, particularly offered in a spirit of compassion, solidarity, and support to all those suffering, and particularly all those impacted by the Russian-Ukrainian conflict and displacement. We'll begin our meditation with the ringing of the bell, and then I'll invite you to take 3 deep breaths, and you're welcome to follow along with the pace that I set, or to find a pace that works for you. Taking 3 deep breaths, breathing in deeply through the nostrils or softly between the lips if that's more comfortable and accessible to us. We'll breathe in for about 4 or 5 beats. We will then hold the breath for about 4 or 5 beats, and then exhale steadily, elongating the breath perhaps to about 6 or 7 beats, allowing ourselves that extra stretch, that extra pause. We'll begin. Breathing in. Hold. And out. Breathing in. Holding. And out. Third time, breathing in. Holding. Release. Continuing to breathe deeply, slowly, and with intention. As we continue to breathe through, allowing the breath to settle into itself. And as it settles, simply observing the breath without judgment. Allowing the breath to flow, noticing any inclination we might have to hold the breath or to manipulate or control it in any way. And if we notice that, we can simply acknowledge it and let it go. Allowing ourselves the gift of slowing down and breathing through. This simple act of breathing is so amazing. If we just give ourselves the space and the time and the awareness, this breath, it regulates itself. And we can just be present to it. Continuing to breathe with intention. Allowing our awareness to rest on the breath. Bringing our awareness back to the breath. knowing that this breath, this moment is always here, always ready to receive us, to hold us, to ground us. Experiencing perhaps some appreciation or gratitude if that naturally is evoked for us, for the safety and the security, the stability and groundedness of this moment, of our own breath, our own life. We can stay in this space of gratitude for the preciousness of life and safety, or if it feels natural and accessible to us, taking that feeling of appreciation, that stability and groundedness, and bringing it to our mind's eye, our heart's eye, bringing to our heart's eye the image, the sensation of a time in our lives when we felt truly safe. Perhaps we felt protected by someone or something, comforted perhaps, or maybe sheltered. Allowing whatever picture is formed naturally and of its own accord to gradually come into clearer and clearer focus. Viewing whatever picture emerges without judgment or even analysis. Simply observing it with curiosity and perhaps gratitude. If we're having a hard time visualizing something specific, or concrete in time and space, that's all right. Our picture can be abstract. It can be a moving image. It can simply be a palette of textures and feelings. Whatever it is for us, allowing that picture to emerge of its own accord. If we'd like to, we can visualize taking that picture and sort of pressing down on it, almost like a stamp. As if pushing down on that picture deepens it into the recesses of our hearts, or allows it to make an impression. In the Sanskrit language, these impressions that are made upon the heart and the mind, they're called samskaras. We have so many impressions being made all the time. In this moment, holding that picture of safety, of security, of protection and shelter, and with intention, perhaps making a deeper impression so that that picture remains. If we'd like to, we can keep our palms open and facing upward on our knees or resting in our laps. Or perhaps if we'd like to and it feels comfortable to us, we can bring those hands, those palms, perhaps cupping the palms slightly, bringing them up to our chests. To the region of the heart space, perhaps even making contact with the physical beating of our own hearts. Connecting with that image, with the impression of that image, the samskara, that we are offering to our own hearts in this moment. Please silently or softly repeat after me. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I know and radiate peace. May I live with ease, giving and receiving love. Bringing to our heart's eye now the image of someone very dear to us, someone we feel intimately connected to. Someone whose heart we know and who knows our heart. Holding this image of our beloved or our friend, please silently or softly repeat after me. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you know and radiate peace. May you live with ease, giving and receiving love. If we'd like to, we can give a mental or heartful embrace to this special person in our lives, this dear friend or family member. And gently allowing that image to perhaps recede, bringing to our heart's eye, our mind's eye now, the image of a person or people we might associate with the warfare and struggle and conflict going on in Ukraine. Bringing to our heart's eye, perhaps, images we've seen on the news or on social media. Perhaps for some of us, there are images of people we know directly or through others. Or perhaps simply drawing on our imaginations, bringing to our heart's eye images of people we are connected to through the family of humanity, as spiritual kin and siblings, people whose names we may not know or whose lives we may not be familiar with, but with whom we are connected. Allowing this image or these images to form, to come into focus, recognizing and acknowledging if we feel some discomfort, some anxiety, or some desire to turn away. Holding that image if we're able to, without turning away. Even if it's uncomfortable or painful. Directing those feelings of safety and security, of groundedness and protection, of shelter, compassion and kindness. Directing that deep impression, that samskara, to this image. Please silently or softly repeat after me. May they too be safe. May they be healthy. May they be happy. May they know peace. May they radiate peace. May they live with ease, giving and receiving love. Continuing to direct our awareness to these images that connect us to the people, of Ukraine, the people most immediately and deeply impacted by the attacks on their safety and security. The people experiencing the reality of suffering in this very urgent, particular way. Continuing to direct our awareness, our intention, our friendship and solidarity and loving kindness to these people. Please now offer whatever blessing, intention, prayer, or communication you feel inspired and called to be an instrument of. Visualizing perhaps this communication radiating from us to the people most in need of it. We will close our meditation, sealing our intention, our communication of loving kindness, by taking a final deep breath in and exhaling, chanting, or being present to the sacred syllable Om, the sound vibration that connects us to one another and to the universal and infinite. Breathing in. Om. Gently and in the spirit of loving kindness directed at one another and also directed to ourselves, opening the eyes or widening the gaze, returning to room awareness and to this gathering of hearts. Thank you for your willingness to share in this practice. For some of us, this is a part of our regular practice or something we're familiar with. And for others, this may be something new or very different for us. It may mean taking a bit of a leap. I want to encourage everyone to continue to send your loving kindness to all living beings in the spirit of the meditation, but particularly to those who are most impacted in this very specific way due to the tragedy of conflict, strife, and war, specifically in Ukraine right now. And along with the many other ways of standing in solidarity and of sending support, including financially, there is great power in sending and sharing our loving kindness. So I want to invite you and encourage you to continue to do this, or in whatever way feels accessible and feels right for you, as far as a practice of prayer and sending loving kindness and blessings. Thank you so much. We'll continue with our practices, and I hope to see you again next week for another session of our Shanti in Place program. Thank you so much. Namaste.